guys, thanks for coming back to our ever busy You Can Too kitchen. This time I'm going to be making a sticky ginger loaf. This is lovely either as just a cake to eat, slice up and eat, or you can have it as a pudding. And I'm actually going to do a quick and easy custard to go with it. So I've got a bowl there, and I'm going to start off with plain flour. I want 175 grams. To that I'm going to add a level tablespoon of baking powder, and I'm going to add a rounded tablespoon, because we like it gingery, of ground ginger. Just ordinary ginger in powder form. Using my whisk again to aerate and combine, I'm just going to whisk those together. In my jug here I have 175 mils of just ordinary vegetable oil. I'm going to pour that straight in, and then I want 85 grams of dark muscovado sugar. Okay, to that little lot, just ordinary golden syrup, and I'm going to add 85 grams. Right, so I've added my golden syrup and I'm just going to mix that in. In my bowl here I have 3 eggs. I'm just going to lightly beat those, and I'm going to add them a little at a time and just beat them in. Okay, the next ingredient I'm going to use is a little bit on the expensive side, but it goes a long way and it lasts a long time. Is stem ginger in syrup. We will put a link on for you to this, because you know, you can shop around forever, and it's a couple of pound a jar, but it lasts for absolutely ages. Now what I've done, in fact I'll show you, there's one of the pieces of ginger, so they're quite a size, a little goes a long way, and they come in the syrup. Now the syrup is equally as valuable as the ginger. This recipe calls for 3 pieces of stem ginger, which I've chopped up really fine. Imagine if it was like garlic and you were chopping garlic up. You need it really, really fine. You need it really small pieces. You can, I don't know if you can pick that up, but it really is tiny. Right, so I have 3 pieces of stem ginger, so 3 whole nubs of stem ginger that I've chopped really fine. And I'm just going to pour that in, or tip that in, to my mix, and again whisk it in. Right, now here I have a 2-pound loaf tin. You can mess around greasing and lining and all the rest of it, but it does take a long time and it's a heck of a faff. We'll put a link on for these liners. They work out about 10p each. And it just makes it so much easier. Instead of messing around greasing it, lining it, greasing it again and everything, just slip one of those in and it's done. So I'm gonna now pour my mixture into that liner. Okay, so that comes about 3/4 of the way up my tin at the moment, but we've got a tablespoon of baking powder in there, so it is going to rise. I've got 2 tablespoons of ginger syrup in my bowl. Keep that for later, because you're going to brush that over the cake once it's cooked, and that's what makes it sticky. And I've got another stem ginger piece sliced here, again for decoration. But at the moment, all you need is everything I've put in the tin. And that's going to go in my oven. That goes on 180 degrees centigrade, which is 350 Fahrenheit or gas mark 4, and it stays in there for about an hour to an hour and a quarter. Again, make sure your oven, you know, every oven is different. Test it after about an hour and see, and if it's still a little bit soft, just gently touch it in the middle. If it doesn't spring back, then it needs to stay in for a bit longer. If it springs back, then it's cooked. So I'm going to pop that in my oven and we'll come back to it in about an hour. Okay, I'm just going to make a quick custard. It really gets me that people spend like £1 a pop for a pint of custard in the supermarkets that's ready to pour. It takes seconds to make it yourself. In my saucepan here, I've just got a pint of milk, just ordinary bog standard milk. You can use any milk you want, full fat, skimmed milk, semi-skimmed, whatever you like. I'm just going to put a tablespoon of corn flour. And just to slacken that corn flour off, I'm just adding a little bit of milk, and I'm going to add that to the milk in the saucepan. Swirl it around and just stir it for a couple of minutes.
Right, we'll just fast this bit.
In there I also need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you want to, because we're doing this with a ginger cake, you could just as easily add a teaspoon of ginger, ground ginger to it, and that would work really nicely. And now, same old caster sugar, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. Now my milk's warming up, and as you can see, as it's warming, it's starting to thicken slightly. It's not going to be ridiculously thick because we don't want ridiculously thick custard, but it is going to be obviously a sort of coating pouring thickness. So that it doesn't stick to the pan, I'm stirring in a figure of 8. Just keep like drawing a number 8 on the bottom of the pan, going right around the edges of the pan. Right. My custard's come to the boil now. That's actually thick enough for what we want. If you want it a little bit thicker, then just add a little bit more corn flour. If you don't want it that thick, then add a little bit less corn flour. It's purely and simply down to the corn flour. Just add a little bit more at a time though. Don't go mad and add a whole nother tablespoon, because you're going to end up with a really thick custard. Unless that's what you like, but I like it as a pouring custard. So that is absolutely fine for me.
Stop recording, I think. It's part of the other video.
I'm going to pour that into a jug and leave that ready for when the ginger cake comes out of the oven. So we'll come back to that, the ginger cake, in about an hour. Okay guys, so my sticky ginger loaf has come out of the oven. As you can see, it springs back nicely when I touch it. It's risen beautifully, but it stayed within the confines of that paper. Now the syrup that I saved from the stem ginger jar, I'm just going to brush that over the top, and it'll all, because it's still hot, it'll all soak in and make it lovely and sticky and gooey. I'll go around the edges first, because there's nothing worse than getting a dry corner crust or something. Okay, and I saved some more ginger, or I sliced up some more ginger, sliced it up fine, and just come along the top, just overlapping it, and just decorate the top of it with it. I might have to do another piece because I don't think this is going to be enough. Okay, so I've taken it very carefully out of the tin, 1 because it's still hot, and 2 because the top's sticky. Obviously you don't want to get it all over your hands and everything. And I'm just going to peel back. You see, this is what I mean about these cake cases. They are so much easier. I'm just going to peel back and cut a nice big slice. As you can see, it's still hot. And do I do 1 or 2 slices? I think it needs 2. Oh. There we go. Put stem ginger on the top. Now, because my lovely cameraman doesn't like skin on custard, I do, but he doesn't, I put a piece of cling film over it whilst it was still hot. And whilst you get a little bit of skin, it's nothing like the skin you get if you don't put the cling film over.
Explain that you have to put a little bit of food colour on to get it yellow, because I think, oh, she's making manky cream.
As I say, I haven't used any food colouring, but if you want to put some food colouring in to change the colour, you can make it yellow, you can make it pink, you can make it blue, you can make it whatever colour you want. And I'm just going to pour some of that custard over that, all the way around it. And then we have a rather yummy portion of sticky ginger cake and custard. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope it'll get you cooking really soon, because you can too. Even things that you think are really complicated are actually really simple. Please, as usual, like the video for us, subscribe to our channel. We will be having a giveaway soon, but we will only be doing it for subscribers, so do subscribe to the channel. And again, because it's a food one, unfortunately we can only deliver to the UK, so you know, but please, as I say, subscribe, and if you subscribe then you're in. Don't forget to press the little bell icon to get notifications whenever we post more videos. Thank you for watching today, guys. We hope you'll join us again really soon in the You Can Too kitchen. Bye.